live.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football House, guys. How are we doing on this lovely Monday night?
Monday Fight Football. Let's do it.
Monday fun day, baby.
Yeah, there was some football on right now too. That Saints game was pretty good. Jags weren't looking so great, but Saints were looking pretty good with Jameis out there.
Jags were looking like the Jags.
Lawrence wasn't getting a lot of time back there in the pocket either. He was constantly moving. He's got some wheels, but yeah, that's not his game. Hey guys, well, my name's Josh. I'm joined by Mr. Craig Mack here on the bottom of the screen, and Justin to my right on the screen. How you guys doing? Joe's weekend.
Doing good. I mean, we had a draft, yeah?
Yeah, I heard something cool happened this weekend.
Uh-huh.
Some would say it's the best day of the year. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I love Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. We always on Kevin Costner, man, and not gonna get in the Waterworld debate again.
I know it was the other night when you asked me if I like Kevin Costner, and then I realized that he made that movie called Draft Day.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. And he had the Browns to take the first pick or something like that. Yeah.
I love that movie. You pancake eating mother.
I like that movie.
Yeah. It was low budget. It was clearly low budget, but if you're a fantasy football or you know, just having a chance to run your own team, make your own picks on a draft day, like that was pretty fun. It was pretty neat to watch.
Well, what's better? Is there any better words to hear in fantasy than "you're on the clock"? It's draft day. Is it the first week of the season? I mean, is it making it into the championship? Like, what's better than draft day, guys?
Maybe championship week, but other than that, I mean, you're putting together your team. You're building that franchise. Like, there's no better day.
Yeah, draft day is so amazing because the possibilities are endless. You know, everybody's excited about each player for each team. You know, you ask any one of us, and we won the draft. I mean, that's why it's fun.
That's why I think it's the coolest day out of them all, because if you look at it from the perspective of everybody enjoying it, like, not everybody gets to enjoy the championship. Only two people will get to enjoy it, and only one person really gets to enjoy it who wins it. So that's why, draft day is, probably on the top up there for me. And everybody starts off, it's just like in real life football, like when you get that, everybody's 0-0, to start off. See, everybody has a chance. So,
yeah, I that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's like you're all what should be done. This player should be able to get 12 touchdowns. This player should, but it's not always like that. So
hey, and we had fathers and sons. Dustin brought his boy. Alex brought his son. Those guys got to make picks if they walked up to the board and stuck it on there. That was fun to watch. My wife, sniped me if she took a player of mine in the 9th round for no reason, just who knows, just to get a rise out of me, So, why don't you give me that player? He's not worth anything, That was an argument. He has no value. And she was like, well, clearly he does. That's why you're still talking to me about him. I'm like, that's okay. I'm going to stay on my side of the house now.
That was for the Evan Ingram comment.
Yeah, well,
she's like, I gotta get him somehow.
Well, actually, guys, we're gonna jump into a little bit of stuff and about our draft here in the second topic of the show, so we can dive into more of those fun moments and kind of give the audience some do's and don'ts that we took out of our own draft. Let's kick it off here with topic one. We're gonna talk just about this whole episode is gonna be draft. So topic one is called draft. The you always say there's some, some rules, of course, have fun with everything. Of course, it's all about having fun, having a good time, hopefully making a little coin too. But what are some of the keys, guys, that you would say going into your draft? I mean, I'll kick it off with one. Is just know the type of draft you're getting into, just to start the basics here. Know if it's a 12-team, 10-team, PPR, half-point PPR. What's some other rules, guys, to kind of know going into the draft?
Yeah, no, that's Josh. Josh, you got it right there, man. If what 6-point passing touchdown, super flex. There's so many types of leagues. Just make sure you know what you're getting into, because you think one little variation, even just 4-point and half-point PPR, that's a big difference. That in itself is going to adjust your ranks. Wide receivers, running backs just kind of shift a little bit. They just kind of flip a little bit, So knowing what draft you're getting into, that's huge. That's a big one. That's probably the biggest one, honestly. I can't think of anything more important.
Absolutely. That, and I mean, stay sane. Know the strategy you're working with and making sure you're sticking to it.
Drink and draft. Don't drink and draft. That's another one. Don't drink and drafts.
Wait till after the first 4 rounds. Get your first 4 base in, and then crack open the whatever your beverage of choice is, guys.
Yeah, it was good draft. Good times. Had a good time.
I also we'll throw this around. We've mentioned it many times in this on these podcasts, these YouTube videos. Tier-based drafting, guys. Go in with a recommendation of some sort of strategy. So not only know your draft, that's the first step. Know the scoring, things of that nature. Just know the overall general information of your draft, but also just have some kind of game plan going into it. Guys, you want to elaborate on this more as far as either setting up some kind of tier system, just even mock drafting before or something?
I had the 4th pick, and it came back to the 21st and then the 28th pick. So for me, I was looking at a couple wide receivers right there that, as important as running back was in my 3rd pick, I really wanted a running back in that 3rd round, but I could not pass up on an opportunity to get a top in my ranks, basically a top 5 wide receiver. I just couldn't pass that up for. We did a show last week. If it was David Montgomery and Chris Carson, that was the drop off. And as much as I wanted to take Montgomery at 28, I really did. I had every intention of getting him or Carson right there. And because Justin Jefferson was still there at 28, I had no choice. I really never even second guessed it either, because of the tier-based drafting. I already knew what the pick was when it got to me. Like I couldn't leave Jefferson for Montgomery. I just couldn't do it. So I just had to make that decision. As much as I wanted a running back, there was no way I was going to pass up somebody who I consider top 5 for top 12-ish, running back. I couldn't do it.
Justin, what kind of strategy, since I guess we'll use our draft that we just did this past Saturday?
I mean, I think it's pretty funny. Like, our league mates, hopefully they watch this, but if they don't, one of the guys, Jose, sat down and talked to me and like halfway through the draft, and he was talking tight ends, and he said, in his mind, which that's really tier-based drafting, fantasy football in general is basically all in your mind. What do you value a player as? And he said in his mind, tight ends, there's only 2 worth it. 2 first tier, S tier, A tier, whatever you want to classify them as, 2, and that's Travis Kelce and
Darren Waller, maybe?
Darren Waller. Mm-hmm. And he ended up choosing Darren Waller because he was right there at the, he knew he wasn't going to fall to him. So I think it's funny, tier-based drafting, it's pretty much universal throughout the whole fantasy football world. You know, it may be called something different, but, you know, everybody does it. And, you know, whether it's personal belief or a fantasy football magazine or an ESPN sports article, like, you got to stick with it. It's proven to get its championships.
Speaking of Jose, man, that guy came walking in with a fly-looking mullet and some Patrick Mahomes glasses on. I've seen Mahomes stunt those out, and he had the look down pat for the draft. That's for sure.
It panned out for him. It panned out.
We'll see. To be determined. Yeah, guys, I went with the strategy of course, I had my tiers of where I would go and where I wouldn't go like too deep, but I went with the best player available strategy. It was fun until I had too many wide receivers and I had no running backs. So there's all different types of strategies, guys. Just I think the key is do your homework. Like do a couple mocks, print yourself out the top 150, go through there, highlight the guys that you like, highlight the guys you don't like, just set your tiers. Set yourself up where you're not panicking, especially if you have a clock. You're running a 2-minute timer.
Could you name off those wide receivers?
I'm going to name off those wide receivers for you, sir.
Yeah, like when you make it sound like, man, I got these wide receivers, and these wide receivers, but like they don't get much better than this.
No. These wide receivers, they ain't no busters, that's for sure. Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Julio Jones, and Cooper Kupp. And guys, this is a 12-team half-point PPR league, and these guys let me run out of the door with these guys. And so we'll see what happens, to be determined here in the future. But
yeah, you had those 4 wide receivers in your stable with Dalvin Cook.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's a squad right there. That's a team.
Yep. And you mentioned know what draft you're in. We're also in a half-point PPR league. So, I mean, those players get the majority of the targets. So,
well, that's a good point, Dustin. And since we're getting into our draft, let's jump into topic 2 here, and let's go with some get around the table here about some. When did y'all think turning points were for y'all in our draft? Where did the struggle start? We'll start with you, Dustin. Where did you think that it started to get tougher, I guess?
I mean, this could just be a numbers game, but I've seen running backs go extremely, extremely fast. Even people that, I might be willing to hold on to because they may see the field. They seem to go pretty quickly. So probably round 6, round 7, and this was a 16-round draft. A lot of the running backs were gone. There were still some left. We got a couple of them, but most of them were gone.
What about you, Craig? Where did the tide turn and things kind of got, you were starting to question?
Was it when Jen sniped your quarterback?
I'm sorry, guys. The audio on my end, y'all are freezing up.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you got me now, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just asking at what point during our draft was the turning point for you?
Saquon Barkley fall into the middle of the second round.
Oh man, I'm talking about for yourself, sir. When did it get tough for you, or did that cause panic?
Saquon Barkley falling to the middle of the second round caused a lot of panic. that was I think he made it to
the 15th pick.
I think he went 19th. Was it 19th? I think he was like 2 or 3 picks away from me, which would put him at like 19.
Yeah, because I would have been the 20th pick or the 21st, and he was 19th.
Yeah, that was nuts. And Antonio Gibson, Angel got CEH. That second round, all those running backs that just went away. And when it got to my 21st pick, I think there was still. I think when 21 rolled around, and I took Calvin Ridley, and again there was no question in my mind if he was my third overall, maybe fourth overall wide receiver. I had no issues. I wanted Ridley. But yeah, the running backs were basically gone. If we were already into that third tier of running back by the time that second, if not third round got there, we were already there. It happened so fast. And at one point I started grinning. I think I looked over at you guys because all I could think about was that fourth round dead zone. And I knew that that's where I was going to be. You know, there was just too many wide receivers and Ridley and Jefferson that I wanted. And I knew that it was going to put me, I think if it was pick like 41 or something like that, maybe 45, that I was like, man, I'm going to be in that fourth round running back, like just dead zone. That's awful. I didn't like that feeling at all. That's when it turned right there. It was Saquon in the second round, and all those running backs were gone. Eckler, I mean, I never had a shot. I was the fourth pick, and then in a 10 team, it gets back around. You're going to have a couple players to look at the running back position, but in a 12 team, no. Fourth pick, going back to the 21st, all those running backs were basically gone. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That was the one guy that if he had made it to 21, I think I might have done something. But I think he went at 17 or something. It was nuts. All those guys were gone.
Yeah, I'm recapping even my other draft, the slow draft that I'm still currently in. And Barkley ended up being taken 10th there, and I thought he fell, of course, in that draft too. This is a full point PPR league, so you had a little bit more people going after some wide receivers than all the running backs just getting eaten up. But our guys that we would say would get in that late third round, early fourth round running back were gone before the third round even got there, so those guys we are in the danger zone that we were talking about a couple episodes ago to kind of be aware of, we're getting scooped up. So I didn't really have a turning point for myself until I noticed that I had three running backs or three wide receivers. I took one running back, Dalvin Cook, and then three straight wide receivers, as I referenced earlier. And then I'm staring at the board, and I got two wide receivers in mind that I could take right now, and it's I don't remember if it was Julio and AJ Brown, something like that. And guys, had to go with another wide receiver because all the running backs were gone. So I didn't want to force it and reach. So I just took what was best available there. And my strategy now in my mind is either I'm just going to carry that extra guy, of course, on my bench, and then if something happens with one of my other guys in between bye weeks and injuries, I'll always have a strong three wide I can run out there, or maybe future trade, flip them for somebody better.
Well, and I think you even said, like, can y'all pick somebody else? Like, I'm running out of best available. It's all wide receivers. Come on, guys.
Well, after that transition, guys, what in the middle rounds did y'all think that y'all found as some value? Justin or Craig, this time we'll start off with you first. Where was a middle round kind of gold nugget that you found maybe between like the 7th to like 10th round or 6th to 10th round? Maybe I got lucky with.
I'll take that one. Let's see. I got ETN in the 6th round, which I was pretty happy with. I think he has tremendous upside. Also, I got your boy, Devontae Smith. Hated to do it to you, but I was trying to help you with all those wide receivers you had. You know, I was just trying to take him off the board because I know he was getting up there in the best available for you. So I
love some Devontae Smith. I still would have taken him. I could have knowing receivers.
I got him in the 7th and then followed him up with Cole Beasley. I mean, I feel really good about our draft. I know everybody does, but you know, I think with that, you know, I found tremendous value in it. So
yeah, I guess my value guy is Samuel. I mean, he just kept following to me in the draft, and one guy that I found really good value there. And then also late in the game, I scooped up Dallas Goedert, man, on the cheap.
Oh yeah, you can't beat. What round did you get him in?
I think so many people passed on him. He was like second to last of my picks before I, finished it off with the defense and the kicker. So I was super surprised. I mean, I already had 14. A tight end. Yeah, I was just trying to. I think it was around 14. I was just trying to get maybe one more tight end just because I didn't feel so reassured about my starting tight end that I had. So I don't usually like to double up. If I would have got one of those top tier tight ends, I definitely wouldn't have doubled up. But I know we got Craig here with some technical difficulties here, trying to get him back in here. But who do you think, Dustin, won the draft? I mean, if you can't count your own team, who do you think has a good shot here winning our league this year?
You know, a lot of the teams are all pretty evenly stacked. However, I will have to say, if I had to pick one, would be the person with the first draft, Jose. I can't pick one. I have to go two. Jose or Steven. Steven was the one that, as Craig mentioned, got Derrick Henry first, and then Barkley fell back to him. So he has a pretty stacked team.
No, that's where I was going to run with too, Steven, also, just because of that, what he picked up and the value he got with Henry and one on his team. He's our back-to-back champs, guys, so it's going to be tough to dethrone him, and so everybody was upset whenever he got Barkley that late, and we was like, how did we let this happen? Too late now, it happened. Now we just got to make sure he doesn't dominate.
We're going to have to pay off the judges or...
Well, that's all we really got today. We're just doing a real quick episode here. We wanted to jump in and just give y'all a spiel of how our draft went. A little short hiatus last week while we were preparing for our draft, but we're going to run some episodes out this week. We got a live episode this week. We'll have a mock draft episode that we're going to get ready for everybody for their mock drafting, for their real life drafts this weekend and the next weekend. That's big time draft season. So we're going to run out our mock 2.0. We'll do a full point PPR this time, 12-man league. Last time we did half point, just to kind of mix it up. Dustin, you want to throw out your some Twitter handles here and the show handles and where they can find us at on YouTube and all that fun stuff?
Yeah. So YouTube is going to be is it the show or no? Not the show. Fantasy Football House.
Yep.
Definitely go hit us up on YouTube. YouTube, you'll be able to find all the Instagram, Facebook, all the links. I'm even putting the Discord in there this week. So you'll be able to become a member of our Discord, which we're going to have places to talk about football, who we think's up and coming. With that being said, my personal handle is Nice Guy Gaming 16 on Instagram. But I did want to throw out two people I want to kind of watch that have been doing pretty interesting stuff throughout the preseason. It's kind of hard to do that with members of my league in here, but I read a interesting article. Tutu Atwell, Rams wide receiver. He is leading the list in the last 2 years of passes that have been thrown to him without a dropped ball. So he's definitely somebody y'all should keep an eye on. And also the Steelers tight end. He's coming off his he's a rookie, isn't he?
I don't know what guy you're talking about because they still have Eric Ebron there that you would.
Yeah, this would technically be his number 2. But Pat Freiermuth, I mean, just in the Lions game alone, he had the 2 lone receiving touchdowns. And it seems like him and Big Ben kind of have this just inert connection. So definitely check him out. I mean, I think he might actually have a chance of beating Ebron's out if he's a little smaller on the tight end scale, but from the looks of things, it seems like they got a connection.
Speaking of connection, you can connect with us on Twitter at FF House Show, and then on Instagram at fantasy_football_house. Greg, who is had some internet quality issues with Spectrum, not hating on Spectrum or anything.
Speaking of connection,
you can find him on Twitter at TrueBlue.
The third. I.
And then you can find myself at Playmakers with the Z88. And so, if y'all caught that there at the end, Dustin threw out some nuggets there for some late round flyers and drafts, some deep league drafts. And then keep an eye out on these. I think we just finished up today the last of these dress rehearsal games for preseason, guys. So none of your starters are really going to be running out this next week. All your drafts should be firing up this weekend and the next weekend after that before Labor Day or Labor Day weekend. So we got the content coming, guys. Just be on the lookout. Follow us on Twitter. Comment on the YouTube page. We want to hear from you guys. And then we still got a giveaway going. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers on YouTube. And once we get to that, and you follow us on Twitter at FF House Show, and we'll DM you. We'll DM the winner. That's all I got, Dustin. Anything else before we call it a night?
No, I think that's it, man. It's going to be a short one tonight, with all the internet issues and stuff like that. But, definitely more to come. So tune in, and we'll see y'all next week.
Guys, just keep working with us. And we're new at this, but we're going to keep getting out the content. See y'all later, guys. Peace out. Good night.
Night.